Hello, friends, and welcome to the first of a series of United States Colored Troops snapshots. In these brief clips, we will look at the vital role African Americans played in turning the tide of the United States Civil War. I'm Toni Carrier, Director of the Center for Family History at the International African American Museum in Charleston, South Carolina. I hope you will enjoy this series of brief videos about the heroic actions African Americans took to assure a Union victory in the United States Civil War. Well, far from being the passive recipients of freedom, African Americans were active agents in freeing themselves and in assisting Union forces to assure a victory in the Civil War. They served as harbor and river pilots. Some acted as spies and operatives on behalf of the Union Army. And between 160,000 and 200,000 men served as soldiers during the war. Many gave their lives for this cause. In this first short clip, we will give an overview of how important their efforts were by examining military correspondence. When the Union Army occupied an area of the slaveholding South, enslaved people saw the opportunity to free themselves and flee to the Union forces, and they did so in great numbers. The commanders of those forces quickly realized that many who escaped slavery and entered the Union camps had intimate firsthand knowledge of the local terrain, the location of Confederate encampments, and other intelligence vital to the U.S. military. Here we see testimony from the American Freedmen's Inquiry Committee to Congress to the Secretary of War. It states, in connection with the value of the Negro as a soldier, the Commission earnestly invite your attention to the valuable assistance which our generals in command may obtain in exploring the enemy's country and detecting his position and plans by the organization of companies of colored guides in connection with each Army Corps. General Robert E. Lee himself conceded in May of 1863 that the chief source of information to the enemies is through our Negroes. Here is an example of African Americans providing vital strategic information to Union commanders. We'll note here that enslaved people who freed themselves and escaped to Union forces were referred to as contrabands. Intelligence received through contrabands indicates that the enemy has no force of any importance at Willstown or in the region to the westward of that place. This is a very telling piece of correspondence from the commanding officer of the troops occupying Edisto Island on the South Carolina coast. It states, I have not been able to obtain any late information in the enemy's force between this and Charleston because no contrabands have come in from that quarter since I arrived here, and it is next to impossible to get intelligence through scouts sent out, as the enemy occupies all the landing places with pickets. So you see, there is an abundance of evidence that African Americans provided essential information to Union troops that helped the Union prevail in the United States Civil War. It's well to contemplate here what a tremendous risk African Americans took in doing so. If detected and captured, their fate was surely death. They did so nonetheless at great risk to themselves and their families. In the next few short clips, we'll tell you about some of those heroic individuals who served as pilots, spies, and soldiers during the Civil War. We hope that you will enjoy learning about their heroic actions.